our studio in Newport Beach, California. Welcome to another edition of the ChabDog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sometimes scattered, but always edgy. We're an authentic take on sports talk. Rated R. ChabDog brings you Eric, the well-read, Frank, the tank, Brian from Sports Rock, and special guests. We're here to talk sports. We're here to rant and vent. We're here to take it up another notch. Now here's your host, ChabDog.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of ChabDog Sports Talk. This is the Super Bowl edition, fantastic Foreplay Show. And we'll be talking extensively about the upcoming battle of 15-12, Mahomes versus Brady, and may not see anything like this again in our lifetime, will we, Eric?
Hey, ChabDog.
This is... I guess a replay of the great game we had a few years ago when the Patriots and the Chiefs squared away in the AFC Championship. And if it's half as good as that, it'll still be worth watching.
I believe we're going to have a Super Bowl that's worth watching for the game and not the commercials this year.
Oh, commercials I never really hold out a lot of hope for.
Neither have I, but how many Super Bowls? Here's a piece of trivia here. Do you remember what was the first Super Bowl you remember watching?
The first Super Bowl? That's got to be I don't really remember the Super Bowl until the Steelers played the Vikings.
Yeah, which one was that?
That was the one in 1975.
Super Bowl, so that was Super Bowl 7, Super Bowl 8?
It's always, I think it was 8.
Okay. And that's about the 8
or
9.
9.
Yeah, 8 or 9, that's where my first memory of, and now we're up to Super Bowl, was this 51?
Yeah, 55. It's always my age.
55.
It's always my age.
Okay, it's your age.
I don't
55.
know. Yeah.
So we've watched 46 of them as the math goes so far. So out of those 46 games, back to, most of those I remember were blowouts. Seldom, like I'd say fewer than a third of them.
Yeah, there was a stretch.
Were good close
there were
games.
a stretch where they were almost all blowouts. Like it was
like San Francisco, we
starting when
somebody out.
the Bears crushed the Patriots.
Yeah, 55-10 or something. Yeah,
and then everyone after that, and the Bengals.
But then even the year before, the Redskins
49ers.
and the Raiders, that was never a game. The Raiders had that game won from the first quarter.
Yeah.
So actually, from '83,
the Raiders Eagles was a
sucked.
blowout. They just tend to be blowouts.
Yeah,
but
for years.
But
the commercials were better than the game.
Yeah, that hasn't been really the case.
Or the halftime show. Remember that halftime show when the wardrobe malfunction. What a creative use of English there. Wardrobe malfunction. We never even put those two words together.
I remember my wife yelled at me, stop staring at the TV. Your son's in the room, but my son was only like, what year was that?
2003?
4,
something like that.
One of those Patriot years. Yeah.
It was a boring game. I don't even remember who was there. I remember that.
It might have been like the Patriots and the Eagles or something.
And we were like sitting there watching them. Man, but she's got like it. We're also like, you see, he like pulled it down. It's like that was deliberate. He opened that up, and it wasn't like that was a mistake. That it was designed to open that way and reveal the nipple. Ooh, I said nipple.
That's bad to reveal the nipple, though.
I know.
That's what you cover. That's what they cover up with pasties. So
yes, there wasn't even a pasty. I was just like, boop. Yeah.
Well, you never know what'll happen at halftime, but I guess.
But back to we're looking forward to a good game today, ChabDog.
I don't know about the weather. I heard the weather might not be that great. I heard it might be kind of sloppy and
let me check with the weather girl here. Can the weather girl get us a report here from Tampa?
Why don't you ask Siri about it?
I don't have, you know what? That bitch is not my phone. I keep her off my phone.
Or Alexa.
Alexa, I keep that bitch away. Do you like sleep with either Siri or Alexa, ChabDog?
What do you mean?
Well, can either of those people hear? Either of the people
know any
that are
girls
calling people.
Named Siri.
Do Siri or Alexa hear you? Like, do you have an Alexa? Do you have one of those things at home?
No, I mean I don't like. I really don't like talking to my phone and giving orders.
Good. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
That's why I have these things. I could turn them on. Okay, we got a weather report. 71 degrees in Tampa.
So they were wrong.
4% chance of precipitation.
Oh, it's going to be.
Okay,
It's going to be a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Oh.
So won't need to have the running game out after all.
This to me feels like an over game. There's going to be a lot of points, I think.
Well, there should be, unless one of the defenses outperforms and can snuff an offense. Let's look at the scenarios here. Okay, so I'd say both offenses are high-powered, but one stumbled more than the other this season, and I'm saying that one would be Tampa Bay. And when it stumbled, they just couldn't seem to get things together. So if they happened to stumble and KC comes on fire, then it's going to be 55-10 KC. If KC stumbles, then seldom did their defense just walk away. Now, there's always times where within a 10-minute span, some team or another drops 30 points on the other team, and if that happens in the first quarter, so be it. And thankfully, when the Chiefs were getting blown out, it happened early enough that they had lots of clock to come back because they got that high-powered offense. So if they get blown out, just like last year, if they're getting beat pretty soundly there through the first 3 quarters of the game, you still can't really chalk them out because they haven't actually in those scenarios they win the best. They come back big. So don't be surprised if KC goes down early. But I don't think it's a high.
Are you already preparing yourself for that eventuality?
Well, it's happened. It's happened. Last as recently as
it did happen in the Buffalo game.
Yeah, 9 points. I mean that wasn't. Yeah. I don't think anybody was seriously thinking that Buffalo was going to run away with this thing, especially when they missed the extra.
You can't blame them too much for that, but it just it happens sometimes. Even the great teams don't really start fully awake, and then something screwy happens, like with that guy fumbling the kick, the punt. Was it a punt fumble? It was
Hardman, McCole Hardman. Look, he very seldom does that. He muffs it, and it puts Buffalo in there for 6, and they miss the extra point, which is bad karma.
Yeah. Do we know whether we never fully confirmed about Antonio Brown, whether he was playing or not?
Well, he's listed as available. He's not medically unavailable or anything like that. So he's and same with Sammy Watkins. So they both can start. Same with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He can start, but we don't. Are those 3 guys really available 100%? No, they're definitely not 100%. So will they be useful? Who knows? Used as decoy, used for real? I'm not sure.
Have you been keeping up with all the? Because I haven't been. I didn't notice any, huge headlines from this week about the pregame hype and the build up and things people might have said. But do you?
It was a different, obviously with the team just arrived yesterday, so they weren't even there the whole week. It was a completely different Super Bowl week without the radio row and all the rah-rah and the steak parties and booze and everything, without the crowd.
That's interesting that the team just why didn't they go there a little earlier? I guess
why. They didn't have to do interviews or anything, so
there's no. It's not like they're going to walk around the town and
they don't give a shit. They were just there.
That used to be a whole. That used to be a whole thing, And the pregame, the week up to the Super Bowl was great because all these people were getting interviewed. Yeah. It was like a party,
and it was a chance for and exactly when after the Redskins lost to the Raiders. They did an interview. I can still remember to this day the interview with Joe Theismann explaining what happened. He says, this is our second time through, so we know what's going on from me. We're all doing interviews. We're all positioning ourselves, positioning our future media careers.
They were really
and we weren't really paying too much attention to the game coming up. And the Raiders were sitting, we're just focusing on it. And Yeah,
But
so
I remember sometimes it works the other way.
Huge
The
distraction.
team that comes in too tight and the team that's too tense and nervous, they can fall apart too. Like in that Philadelphia Eagles Raiders Super Bowl in New Orleans, the Raiders were partying the whole week.
Yeah.
And the Eagles were all uptight and getting their in by the curfew. Vermeil had
Dick
a curfew.
Vermeil, Eagles, yeah.
Curfew. And then you saw what happened in that game.
But then there was the in the early 2000s, the Atlanta Falcons played in a Super Bowl, and one of their players, a wide receiver, got busted. Like,
oh
no, the night before,
when
the
they
night before they
Denver?
gave him the
It was
award.
Denver.
Was it Denver, yeah.
Yeah.
So the night before, they give him one of the awards as like the outstanding great player because he's also a pastor and everything else. Oh, name is on the tip of my tongue. And then the next morning, in the morning of the game, overnight we learned he got busted for soliciting prostitution.
Who was that?
Andre Robinson.
Yeah, that's going back too far. That's actually
It's only the early 2000s, but
99, I think.
yeah, 99, 2001.
Brian would know.
Yeah, maybe Brian will know.
Yeah, hello. You're next. You're up on ChabDog Sports Talk, and I think that's Brian Keller. How are you, Brian?
Hey, I'm doing all right, guys. How you doing?
We were talking about Super Bowl hype week and how it used to be so memorable, but now this year it's just vanished. So it all has to be
I know.
today.
The
Wasn't
hype
much.
match what we got coming up here.
There was that bad news that about the car accident that
I was going to get to that.
where
The Reed's son.
He didn't come with the team to the game, huh? He's
No, he's not going anywhere for a while. And in fact, he's got 2 injuries. One little girl's in a coma right now. He had a previous DUI. Yeah, he's in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
His brother is dead by suicide.
That's awful. His
Andy
brother,
Reid's other son?
yeah, did he have drug problems?
I don't
think
know.
so. I thought there were some other things that happened.
Did you see that the kid was on Adderall too?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so that's the
I
trouble.
saw that.
If you get pulled over and you start just talking, like that's admissible evidence, and so that's all. The only reason that's in there is because he told that to the police, and the police were just reporting his statement.
Well, yeah, they asked him how many drinks he had, I think.
And he said, he made the mistake of
And a
saying,
lot of
I had a
people-
couple of drinks. And
A
I
lot
took
of people
prescription
just
Adderall."
aren't going to think fast enough to shut up, and
Just say nothing.
he said 2 or 3 drinks.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone says. Hey, Brian, you just had a couple drinks, right? And then you were dancing, and that before you start dancing on the bar, it was just a couple drinks, right?
Yeah. That takes up quite a few for me now.
Do you have worms?
We have Saul Rosenberg as another guest today.
Yeah.
Later.
Hello?
So Brian is into the Hall of Fame like I am, and did you hear who got inducted into the Hall of Fame yesterday? NFL?
Oh yeah,
8 players.
and I don't have the list in front of me, so.
I don't have the list in front of me either, but I know it involved Peyton Manning, of course, and Charles Woodson, defensive back for the Raiders primarily. There was Alan Faneca, who is the great offensive lineman for the Steelers, and let's see, of course, Drew Pearson, who was a star receiver, a great receiver in the 70s for the Cowboys. And we can talk about that a little more because, he really wasn't a shoo-in. That was kind of a struggle to get
Yeah,
him.
that was an odd one, yeah.
And then when you think about who's not in there at the wide receiver position yet and may never get in compared to Drew Pearson,
Here we go. I got it now.
Bad comparison.
Manning, Woodson, Calvin Johnson.
Megatron got it.
Megatron, that's the name.
Megatron, yeah. He was awesome.
He was great.
Yeah.
I was quite amazed at his statistics because I wasn't. I knew he was great, but I didn't realize
He was
how great.
He had like 8 of the most huge years for a wide receiver of all time. I mean, it's Jerry Rice like Travis Kelce, and I mean it's just intense numbers. The guy could really put up the numbers.
Yeah, 9 years, and he was only 30 when he hung it up.
Yeah,
he's only 35 now, but he said he just got tired. Didn't have the spirit. I'm sure a lot to do with how bad the Lions were as well, or where they were going at the time. But yeah, 11,000 yards in 9 years.
Yeah. No, he was a force. Didn't seem to get hurt that much either. So it was kind of like a power packed, relatively short career, similar to Jim Brown. Jim Brown was just amazing.
Like Brown. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Brown put in 9 years too, and
I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't make sense that you would have a guy with 1,000 catches and 12,000 plus receiving yards, still not in, and you put that guy in there.
That was.
And Cliff Branch also.
Yeah, couple of misses. Branch and what's his name? You said
Hines Ward. Hines Ward isn't that old. I mean, I don't know how many years of eligibility he has left, but he probably, I would think, will get in the next 3 or 4 years.
Well, yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
They did put Flores in, which was, I think we talked about that last year a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess once we mention something like that, the guy ends up getting in. Tom Flores, people complaining. We have 2 new guests on the line. Trayvon Washington, the great wonder,
great better extraordinaire,
and Frank the Tank,
the
colleague,
the walking sports encyclopedia.
I'd love to hear their
sports computer memory.
What's the latest in the betting world in terms of where the money's going on this game, Trayvon or Trey?
Trey, yeah, where's the sharp money going, bud?
Well, I know y'all here for the big game today.
Yeah.
You know, Chelsea versus Sheffield United in the England Premier Soccer game. It's going to be
Chelsea.
A doozy at 11 a.m. You should take Chelsea. No, you know what? I say take the over 2.5 goals on that game.
Thank you.
I think.
Hey, ChabDog, you have the right to hang up on him right now if you want.
Yeah. He's holding a bet of mine, so I don't want to get him mad at me. I'm gonna humor him. But I'm gonna go.
He's got the soccer thing down. So
I'm gonna go under on Chelsea.
I know, right?
I'll go under on Chelsea.
Under on Chelsea.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
All the English stuff.
Yeah, this Chelsea is a really good-looking bet, I think.
I'm seeing now
not like
there's a lot of money coming in on Tampa Bay now.
Well, he said a lot of money's coming on Tampa Bay.
On the money line or on the spread?
I say both. I think most people are taking, just a straight up bet on Brady.
Wow. And is the line
He's
still
a darling.
Is the line still 3 or is it
3 and a hook?
3.5.
Yeah,
I'm
It's still steady
steady on mine.
It's steady at 3.
Really? You can get it at 3 now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's at. But they have it at. I know before, probably like 2 days ago, they had it at Buccaneers +3 with even money, but now that's been bought down to -110 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the money line has also moved from 145 to 135.
Okay. Well,
what do you got for the over/under?
Over/under steady still at 56. We've seen some 56.5.
I like the over on this game.
We were talking about that
Like
earlier.
the over on this one?
I think we get an under scenario too. We get under here too if the defenses show up and the offenses decide to show. Sometimes these two offenses, the two coaches, get into a position where they just want to play just enough offenses, just better than the other team's offense, and that's all they're doing. Keep it really low, really conservative, really low key, just sort of stay within themselves and just stay really close. And they do that, it could easily be under.
Yeah, well, especially first half. First half wise, yeah, because they always tend to, feel themselves out.
Yeah.
To see. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed Reed does that,
and
especially in big games. They'll simply run plays just to see how the defense is running against it and not necessarily even get anything. They'll go 3 and out and sacrifice just so they can see how the other team's playing. And
I propose that possibility that we could have one of those oddball fluke blowouts. Somebody could just come out flat or screw up.
Yeah, right. Well, if the Bucks win, I don't expect a blowout. If the Chiefs win, I wouldn't be surprised if they blow them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be 55-10 Chiefs. and Brady's brains are on the carpet, care of Alex Okafor.
Oh man, how many times has everybody been wishing for that though?
Yeah.
Yet he's still standing at 43, right? That's insane.
And if Okafor doesn't get him, Frank Clark is.
Sorry. I thought it was where Brady goes with this. If he wins, he's done just about everything he can possibly do. You should hang him up. If he loses, they give it another shot.
But he likes
working.
working.
I don't. Well, what I've been hearing lately is that they're probably gonna see if they can get him an extension. And I wouldn't blame them. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't blame them. I mean, they haven't been in the Super Bowl in how long? The last time they were there, was against the Raiders, right?
2003.
2003
or so, something.
Wow.
That was the year they beat the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. That was when John Gruden owned that playbook, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the year that wasn't that the year Barrett Robbins, that guy got messed up in the pre-Super Bowl week or something, and he forgot to show up to the game. There was some crazy story about him. Barron Robbins.
He forgot to show up at the game.
Yeah. Something he got.
I don't recall that. That's the thing.
He got disoriented.
The center, he went out and he got partied out or something.
Wow.
Hello. Hi.
That's insane.
He's a friend of mine on Facebook. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but
Hello.
People remember the weird shit like that happens Super Bowl week.
Uzi 9mm.
Well, yeah, and I looked it up. It was Eugene Robinson in 1999. I thought it was 2003, but you were 100% correct, ChabDog.
Of course I
Eugene Robinson. So the night before, last night they were giving out all the humanitarian awards of all the players, all the great things, etc., throughout the year. And so back in 99, Eugene Robinson got the award for, greatest man of the year, man on the team and everything, and, for humanitarian, etc. And then in the morning we wake up and the headline reads that he's been busted for soliciting prostitution.
Oh, wow.
You remember that?
Wow.
And of course the Falcons got their ass handed to them, so that was, The scandal.
Here's a nice stat that I found. Since 2000, the better quarterback in the Super Bowl has not covered the spread 5 out of 12 times.
Ooh.
5 out of 12 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So that means
better quarterback.
Well, that means 5 out of 12. That means 7 times he did.
Mm-hmm.
Brady. How did Brady suddenly find the his intermediate and long ball? Because for a while I watched game after game early in the season where he wasn't even completing those. It didn't even seem like he could throw. And when he did go back, his mechanics looked really clunky. Like, yeah, he can get up far, but he looks clunky doing it. You look at you look at Reed, Josh Reed doing it. He's smooth.
It helps when you have Antonio Brown, and they got Antonio Brown towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it stretches the field, and then
if Brown is healthy, what is it? 80% Antonio Brown? Is it a 70%? Like, gentlemen, do you have any intel on Antonio Brown and how competent he'll be today?
Yeah, he's going to give it a go, but he's not 100% though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means he probably won't be much of a factor.
But on the other side, we don't know about Sammy Watkins. He's not going to be 100%
incredible.
either.
Oh, that guy hasn't been a factor for a while.
I just read something right now. Andy Reid's son got into a car accident.
Yes.
Yeah, that was 2 nights ago.
His living son. Remember, his other son committed suicide in very sad circumstances.
Yeah, that might be a
coach.
Huge distraction for the Chiefs.
Well, you'd think it would be, but so this news broke on Thursday, and he was leaving the stadium, and there was a car stopped to the side of the on-ramp onto the interstate, and it's snowy and the weather's cold and everything. The visibility isn't all that great, and he ends up slamming into the car and injures 2 people, injures himself. He's in the hospital right now with undisclosed injuries, and the 2 kids, there's 2 children who are hurt. One of them is apparently in a coma. Apparently, in the investigation so far, the police said that alcohol was involved, or at least the attending officer smelled copious amounts of alcohol, strong odor of alcohol. From
Plus, he said he had
cabin,
2 to 3 drinks.
Yeah, he willingly admitted he had a couple of drinks.
That's not even in doubt anymore.
He has a previous DUI. Yeah, like this guy is serving time.
And there was a road rage incident too.
Oh, there was previous gun and rage instance as well. But screw that, he has another DUI. This guy's, this could be a huge distraction, but I think it's just a sad thing. They're moving on.
You never want anything like this, though. I remember the Patriots had a problem with this Malcolm Butler guy, and that happened right before the game against the Eagles.
Oh, that's right.
And that a lot of people point to that as maybe the reason they lost that game.
Yes, I point to that too. And so Malcolm Butler was banging your son, your daughter, your daughter's wife. I don't know. Who cares? Put him in. You needed him for the win.
Yeah, that's.
He's a player.
But maybe there's team rules that have to be observed, and the coach has discretion how to enforce it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's more Bill Belichick than the team's rules. It's his way or the highway.
Yeah, his ego.
Yeah.
And whose fruit Malcolm? We didn't. Whose fruit was Malcolm Butler eating? He pissed somebody off by, playing with someone else's girl.
Speaking of distractions, you could play that clip. Do you have that clip from your Lolita in the front yard?
Oh yeah, I've got all the clips. The creepy one?
Yeah. Oh no, not the creepy one. The other one.
Oh, it's pretty creepy.
It's after the dance scene.
Oh, jeez. I'm having trouble finding it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, this one.
Prizes around here.
Perhaps if you'd let me have your telephone number, that would give me a chance to think it over.
1776.
1776. Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, so easy to remember. Oh, you must see the garden before you go. You must. My flowers win prizes around here. They're the talk of the neighborhood.
Blonde.
Voila.
Blonde. Well, I got this soon.
My yellow roses. My daughter.
Black and white's okay. Now this old man's looking at her with these lustful eyes. Oh my God.
I can offer you a comfortable
She's a
home,
child, man.
sunny
What are you
garden,
looking at her like that for? You
congenial
gonna bang her or
atmosphere.
something?
My cherry pies.
Look at her. Look at her eyes.
She's just a kid.
Well,
She's old beyond her years.
we haven't discussed how
She's like
much.
15.
Something nominal. Let's
14.
say $200 a month,
Yes, that's very...
including
that's a great
meals
price.
and late snacks,
Yes,
etc.
includes late snacks.
It's very reasonable. Well, it's very nice.
You couldn't find better value in West Ramsdale.
No, well, when would it be
West
convenient for you to have me
Ramsdale?
move in?
It was Mamsdale.
Oh.
Right now. I mean, it would be silly for you to go to a hotel, monsieur.
That's my bags in the taxi. Yeah, a very persuasive salesman, Mrs.
Thank
Davis.
you. What was the decisive factor? My garden?
I think it was your cherry prize.
Stanley Kubrick knew what he was doing.
Bunch of perverts.
Do you guys like Stanley Kubrick? Do you know who I'm talking about? Anybody?
The director, Stanley Kubrick?
This is
Kubrick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Clockwork Orange.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
He did the one Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise. And
Didn't he also
Kidman.
do Barry Lyndon?
I love Barry Lyndon.
Yeah, he also directed Barry Lyndon. So
God, that was great.
Yeah.
Trey, you never saw Barry Lyndon?
No,
that's Ryan O'Neal.
I think that's before
wasn't in my repertoire.
That's before Trey's time.
You'd be wise to pay attention to some of my recommendations.
It's an oddball film, dude. I didn't think Trey would have any idea what that
I don't know, man. The accents were so good, and the women wore those weird dresses where everything got pushed up.
Oh, the authentic. I believe. I'm pretty sure it was nominated for an Oscar. If it did not win an Oscar for technical authenticity.
Yeah. Cinematography?
Yeah,
is that what that's called?
Well, something like that, where they have the authenticity of being. Yeah, they recreated it to a T perfectly. They spent a lot of money, a lot of time. That's what Kubrick is. He's good at that. He's got that anal flair.
Yeah, he pays attention to the detail.
Like too much. Yeah. Like some directors.
Did he do a Space Odyssey?
Yes, of course.
So just think about that. All the stuff that guy's done, and this was very early Kubrick. This movie Lolita.
He did the one with Peter Sellers and the, what's that? George C. Scott, the nuclear one. Strangelove, Dr. Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove.
Yes.
Oh,
Dr. Strangelove, yeah.
Man, and is he still alive?
I think he just recently passed away in the last year or two.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, people are starting to die who are very.
Well, he was 1 million years old. I mean, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Good for
And
him.
he had a distinguished career. Yeah.
We also lost Christopher Plummer. Did you know that?
Yeah, that was a shame.
Yeah.
I was about to watch The Silent Partner last night.
You guys got to know who Christopher Plummer is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the actor.
The actor, he was in The Sound of Music.
Yeah, he played the Nazi in The Sound of Music.
But he more recently was the creepy Reverend Jonathan Worley in Dragnet. Remember that?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a really obscure reference, brother. Yeah, from 1987. Yeah, sure. That's correct.
Dragnet is a great movie, though. Dan Aykroyd.
That's from 1 million years. Yeah, it is.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that one was good. That was good.
And the Virgin Connie Swale.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Virgin? Okay.
Ma'am.
Who's 9mm?
So, if you're gonna, I guess if you participate in this show, you have to get along with these references to old stuff that we throw in there. Unfortunately, we're old fogies compared to
well, that's why
two
we
of the
have
callers.
Yeah, we have some variety here, so we don't bore everybody with our old shit.
It's okay. We're all on our way there anyway.
Hi.
Yeah. What are you guys are both under? Are you both under 30?
Under 40.
You're under 40, but you're not under 30.
Yeah. No.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you don't really notice much difference in the 30s compared to the 20s, I'd say.
No, if anything, it feels better.
Not much.
You get much more comfortable in your 30s because you're not as
maybe
awkward as you felt in your 20s. You've done it a few
you
times.
Start to gain a little more weight, I think.
You hit some good earnings years.
Oh, that's the actual fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 30s
that is
were
an
good
actual
earnings
fact.
years.
You're correct.
So
you still look young. You still look your young self in your 30s. So it's about the end of that, though.
Yeah. You still can party hard. And come back the next day.
Oh, and wake up at 7, go for a run, and go to work at 9, and be relatively okay.
When you know you're in charge.
You actually be surprised. You actually be surprised. I can't hang like that anymore.
No?
Oh, already? Jeez.
Yeah, already.
What? So Frank, what's your? Are you like Trey? You pretty much survive as a bettor and you survive in the gaming world.
No, I'm more of a recreational bettor. You know, I give Trayvon my takes, my point of views or whatnot. But as far as like betting heavy, like on games like that, no, that's not my route.
So what do you do? What do you do as your normal pursuit? Like
I work at
murder, arson
at the MGM.
Oh, at the MGM.
At the MGM.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet man.
Yeah.
Well, you've been able to because they've been affected by this. Obviously, this.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I haven't been back to work since when it first started. I think I only went back one day for like retraining, but that was it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
I've never
over here
you worked at the MGM. That's like a dream job.
Yeah, it's hit us hard over here.
I mean, it's the kind of job you kill for, but
it's like Costanza working for the Yankees.
It's so affected by this.
Oh, well, all of our jobs are. Well, many of our. Maybe yours hasn't slowed down too
I
much.
know. I've been lucky because a lot of what I do doesn't. It's negatively correlated almost with if in a bad economy.
Yeah.
People need what we offer because.
Well, part of your services,
yeah, part of it, but part of it has been affected. Yes, part of it, and that's. Yeah. That's hard. I mean, it's hard for companies to spend money on legal services when and
it affects business formation. Yeah, you've probably we've seen fewer business formations.
Right, but that's starting to pick up now.
Yeah, it's got
a few things. And so, but yeah, so you do you in terms of the gaming though. I thought that Trey said that you're a more of a technical expert or something?
Not necessarily. I just like to. I'm more of an info guy. I like to read a lot.
Oh, okay.
See where I could. Yeah, that's sometimes. By doing your homework, you're able to to pick up on some information that you'll be able to use on the bet or whatnot. So you can have value on one side.
So why is the line? Why is the line sort of shrinking here slowly? It's just I detect some.
I think it's because of like Trayvon was saying, a lot of people think if the Bucks they're gonna win, then you might as well take the money line. Some people are taking the number, which is the safer side, but they want to get more bang for their buck. So
like
the money line route.
A small line like this kind of naturally lends itself to becoming smaller as the game gets closer because basically there's not much benefit to taking the points.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's just it's not really
another thing.
It's just the way
which came in handy for Frank is I wanted to place a prop wager on a quarterback not getting the MVP, and he found a good stat for us that was like 80%, and I was like, yeah, I can't do that. I have to step away.
Oh yeah, the stat is
you can't do
when
that?
the Super Bowl total has been set at 52, at 52 points or higher, the QB has won it at a crazy percentage rate of 82% of the time.
Yeah. It's hard not to see one of the two quarterbacks winning that award. But
exactly, especially with the names.
You know what? Then again, it might just be one of those Super Bowls where some other play, like a turnover, determines the outcome.
Yeah, my prediction is Alex Okafor is going to win MVP of the game.
Who is
knocking Brady retarded.
Alex Okafor, like he's some household name. I mean,
he will be after this game because he's going to knock Brady retarded.
Have you ever heard of Jason Pierre-Paul?
Yeah, he makes a good candy bar.
JPP.
Yeah,
he's the guy that messed up the Patriots in I think it was Super Bowl 2011.
Joy has nuts.
So
and
now he's
don't,
playing with
Peter Paul.
He's playing with Tom Brady, and he's a pretty good player, isn't he?
Yeah, especially as of late. Yeah, he's been playing exceptional.
He's gonna melt on the dashboard.
And then they got Sue on the other side, and you know what he can do.
Yeah, Sue's not the Sue that he used to be. He's good.
Well, he's not allowed to step on people anymore.
No. He's not the physical specimen. You know, he was a terror, a monster when he came out.
Well, I don't think you want to be shaking his hand.
Uh-huh. What about the honey badger?
That guy would break you.
Oh, how about Tyron Matthew? Matthew, do you got any good words for him?
Oh.
Can you show me some love on his performance?
He's pretty impressive. Yeah. I'm
Cole
sure.
Hardman.
And of course, I mean, all the things that the Chiefs have on offense. Well, we're just talking about the Bucs defense. So,
yeah.
Because I think a lot of people don't know that's a. Wouldn't you guys say that's a pretty good defense?
Oh yeah, most definitely, especially late.
Yeah, I mean, they've been tough against the run. They played Breeze and the Saints really tight in the coverage.
Yeah, I call the Emperor wears no clothes. I mean, they have a top-ranked defense like the Rams had a top-ranked defense.
Like the Chiefs have a top-ranked defense.
Well, it's just numbers. Yeah, the numbers are there, but then when you see they're playing a bunch of tomato can teams and then the good teams they play, it just works out that they get the stat. But it's not, did they earn it? Was it real? Are they really that good? No,
they did
they're
a pretty
okay.
good job against Green Bay, in Green Bay.
Yeah, but Green Bay was playing poorly.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like
what do you guys think?
Coach's game plan.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end, went for the field goal instead of going like, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Tom Brady turns the ball over 3 times in a row, and you lose the game. I mean, that's 3 fucking times in a row, and you got Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, and you got a good offense, and you're at home, and you can't win that game.
Like I said, Aaron Rodgers has a way of checking out sometimes.
Yeah, he.
And I don't know.
He ran out of tampons or something.
He was having a bad day, kind of a bad emotional day.
He's having a Midol day, man.
Because his numbers weren't that bad, but he just didn't come through enough, and he seemed like he had something else on his mind. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he finished with
got a call from New York.
Yeah.
What was that?
I think one of the coaches got a call from New York and told him to, you gotta flip over this game because that last drive, it still baffles me.
It doesn't compute
how
that
you
well.
Not
does
go
it?
for it.
Yeah, it kind of leaves you wondering. I mean, was this just a lot? Some of it just kind of a big setup because this is the matchup everybody want to see. I mean, but Aaron Rodgers is not chopped liver either.
No, I would have been happy to watch Green Bay too. I think it's A and 1A.
Yeah, I think it would have been a great.
Yeah, Mahomes is going to be either of them. So you can. Okafor for MVP.
So, you want to talk about basketball at all, or anything else?
Ugh.
You don't want to talk about basketball. Eric doesn't like the NBA.
Well, you can talk about basketball.
I'm starting to warm up to it because I have some friends that follow it. So, and I comment on the games. So I have noticed some things like the Bucks kind of started, kind of middling, slow, and the Warriors are playing pretty well. They're above 500. They did lose last night to Dallas. That was a great game. And the Lakers are Lakers, and the Utah Jazz are really good, which I didn't see that coming. Did you see that coming, Brian?
What's that?
The Utah Jazz being so good this year?
No, not at all. No.
I guess you weren't really. Are you not in NBA mood at all? Are you? What's your attention level?
Nah, I'm honestly not quite there yet. I have popped in and checked where the standings are.
Yeah.
Right now. One thing I did hear, let me see if I can refresh my memory.
Did you know Tyronn Lue is coaching the Clippers? Isn't that kind of funny? He's in LeBron's town.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you kind of just threw out the Lakers like that. You make them sound just like chopped livers. Oh, the Lakers are the Lakers.
The way I did
sound
that,
all boring.
The way
kind
I
of
did
disrespectful.
Because I was
I don't think he meant that way. I think he said it. The Lakers are the Lakers, but he knows. I think he knows.
Yeah, I mean, I paid them very kind of passing respect because I'm a Celtics fan and I don't drool over the Lakers. I just don't do
that. There you go.
I'm not sure. It looks like they slipped up a little bit, but I did hear earlier, a few days ago, somebody brought up the Nets as a surprise team.
Right, because they have James Harden and James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie. So that's three.
Yeah, they have all offense, no defense.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll worry about the defense later. We just want to get what they can't get butts in the seats.
If the Nets are going to,
it's always whoever scores more points wins, right?
140.
Yes, 140. Eventually, you're going to have to get a stop, though.
That's true. Depends who scores first, I guess.
Now, if they're going to be a serious contender, they're going to have to trade for a big man because they don't have no rim protection.
Yeah.
So both you guys are big Lakers fans, not Clippers fans, or are you both?
Oh, that's Trayvon. Trayvon's a Clippers fan. I'm the Lakers fan.
Come on.
No, Lakers. Lakers all the way. Lakers all the way. Lakers all the way. I've been there since they won that 33 in a row back in the day.
Wow, that's nice.
Yep.
Wait, was that?
I'm just a Clippers fan for this year until they get rid of LeBron. I'm not a LeBron fan.
Actually, no. I don't care much for LeBron, the man, but obviously, great basketball player.
Yeah, Trayvon doesn't want to admit that, but it's okay.
Thank you.
I don't. Yeah, no comment on LeBron.
Get out.
He gets credit for a few things.
My favorite was the Magic Johnson days. Those were awesome.
Oh, you have Magic Johnson stories? Go ahead.
No, I said that. Just say that. That's my favorite period for the Lakers there.
Oh,
yeah.
Showtime? Yeah.
Showtime.
I'll never forget when Magic Johnson kissed Isaiah Thomas, or was it vice versa? That did it for me.
I think the feeling was mutual there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. He's just the kind of guy. Sometimes I just wanted to punch him in the face. I don't know. He had a way of really rubbing me the wrong way.
Not only you, it was a lot because don't forget, remember the Dream Team, he was left off that team.
The what?
He was left off the Dream Team.
Oh, he was left off of that. Oh man, that hurt. That hurt his ego. He just
big time.
He seems like he's one of these guys that is just always trying to promote himself and make sure everybody knows how great and special he is.
Yeah. He's a great player.
Yeah, he
runs the wrong way a lot.
His front office career has left a lot to be desired.
I think this year the Jazz, they're going to be a surprising good team.
Yeah.
They've been playing well.
Yeah, they seem like they have more offense, a little more offense to throw around. Because it always, to me, it's when they get the playoffs, they kind of tighten up a little bit and they stop scoring as many points, and they can't win under those circumstances. But they right now they're kind of loose, but I can't tell you who the new guy is that they acquired. They got some more weapons. I think it's a guy named Bogdanovich.
Oh yeah. I think he's been there. I think he was also there last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it isn't an actual new person, but
I think the difference this year, he's been playing more consistent, along with Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, go
He's
Bear.
been playing lights out.
The Tower of Stifle. Or the Stifle Tower. That's what they call him. He blocks a lot of shots.
Yeah.
It's clever.
Yeah. And they have Donovan.
Yes.
Yeah, Donovan is special.
Yeah. He's impressive.
Yeah, I still like the Lakers in 4, though.
Lakers in 4. I'll say 5.
Fuck you, asshole.
I have to deal with these Laker fans somehow.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
The Celtics are doing pretty horrible, 12-9.
Yeah, but they just beat the Clippers. They just took those guys down on their home court. They know they're good.
Oh no, the Celtics are good. I give the Celtics credit, and they have a good coach as well.
Yeah,
they just have to stay healthy, and also I think a big man will also help them big time too, because I don't think they have that presence in the middle.
They got a big white guy named Daniel Theis. Daniel Theis.
Oh yeah,
he's okay. He's athletic. He tries hard, and he's kind of like Chris Dudley, but he's good.
Player.
He's more athletic. What?
I think they should go after someone like Andre Drummond, who I think is on the verge of getting bought out or probably getting traded. I think you could get him for cheap.
That guy gets rebounds. Like he'll go like 25 points, 25 rebounds. No problem.
Yep, all day, man.
He's a horse in the middle. And I don't understand why that guy doesn't get more publicity, but he's just not the type of guy. I guess he's not that charismatic, and he doesn't have incredible. He must have just really good skills around the basket. Have you seen him play?
Andre?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen him play.
So what's he like?
He's really good.
He's fit?
I think he's more of a, you want to say a Dennis Rodman without the defense.
But what's his shooting like?
He's not that good. I think he's even, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's shooting like at a 60% rate around the rim. I think missing layups is what's killing him.
But what color?
Bunnies.
What color are his fingernails? Because Rodman's a green.
I was on the verge of some great discoveries here because I've never seen this guy play because he plays in your favorite city, Detroit. He played there for a long time. And when you're in Detroit, it's like you're banished to Siberia in terms of national TV exposure. So we never get to see this guy.
Yeah, especially if they're a bad team, they're not going to get a lot of national televised games.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. The inside dope on Andre Drummond, who might be in the NBA Hall of Fame sometime.
Not related to Mr. Drummond.
Yeah. Different strokes, right?
For different folks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we talk football again?
Yes, we can go back to the main topic of discussion. Go ahead. The floor is all yours. Or you could play a clip you want. You can do anything you want.
Yeah, I have a clip here. Okay, yeah. Here's the talk about working wonder jobs.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
I like sports. I could do something in sports.
In what capacity?
You know, like the general manager of a baseball team.
Yeah, well, that can be tough to get.
Well, it doesn't even have to be the general manager. Maybe I could be like an announcer, like a color man. You know how I always make those interesting comments during the game?
Yeah, you make good comments.
So what about that?
Well, they tend to give those jobs to ex-ball players and people that are, in broadcasting.
Well, that's really not fair.
I know. Well, okay. What else do you like?
Movies. I like to watch movies.
Yeah.
Do they pay people to watch movies?
Projectionists.
That's true.
But you gotta know how to work the projector.
Right.
And it's probably a union thing.
Those unions. Okay, sports, movies. What about a talk show host?
Talk show host, that's good.
I think I'd be good at that. I talk to people all the time. Someone even told me once they thought I'd be a good talk show host.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of people. How do you get that, though? Where do you start?
Well, that's where it gets tricky.
You can't just walk into a building and say, I want to be a talk show host.
I wouldn't think so.
It's all politics.
All right, okay. Sports, movies, talk show hosts. What else?
Politics.
This could have been a huge mistake.
This is after he quit his job, I think.
Yeah, he didn't get the Yankees.
It's just flawless.
That was pretty cool. He goes on to
He always wanted to pretend to be an architect.
So that was Larry David's character, or that was Larry David who wrote the George character, modeled somewhat on himself.
Yeah.
And they sort of look vaguely similar to each other.
Yeah. Well, I can see some George and Larry and vice versa. I can see some George in myself. I mean, I have a big wallet.
I think it's a little George and everybody.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I wanted to own a baseball team, and I remember that.
Did you hold your breath and stomp your feet until it made it until it happened?
Or a basketball.
Somebody told me that I would be pretty good in radio once.
Yeah, Brian, you have a real face for radio.
Yeah, real face for radio.
Just kidding. Yeah, we don't all have the special voice like my co-host, but
I've been checking out some more props for the game.
Oh yeah, let's hear that. That's a good subject.
Mm-hmm. Get the over/under on the anthem.
They got. I actually ignored that one this time. It's just with no fans, it kind of loses its luster a little bit. Well, they have fans, but not a sold out crowd, and it would have been nice to have some fans. It's the first Super Bowl where the actual team is hosting, so that would have been awesome to see. But
yeah,
we got the fake demic going on, so yeah.
Yeah, it's an odd one-off year, and the game wasn't even supposed to be held in Tampa Bay anyway. It was supposed to be L.A. or something.
Oh,
yeah, they put LA off.
They have LA for next year. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they had to change it, I think. Right.
It would have been L.A. this year. So yeah, they just put it in Tampa Bay because Florida's open for business.
Thank you, coronavirus.
Are you going to be attending that game, ChabDog?
What, the game next year? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
The Super Bowl next year?
Yeah.
It's in L.A.
Depends on what my next stimulus check looks like.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think
going for $5,000.
I definitely think if it ever comes to L.A. that I will be there because it's like probably my last greatest chance to go to a Super Bowl.
That would be awesome, huh, to do that. I'll have to seriously consider. I know it's going to cost a pretty penny, but I'm not that far.
It was $5,000 last year.
For front row?
Oh.
I just saw my car.
Package of upper deck tickets.
Oh, nosebleed.
I don't go anywhere anyway.
Well, you're at the game. That includes airfare.
We'll just have to sell a little Bitcoin or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
A little Dogecoin. Dogecoin. Is that how, did I
There
pronounce it
you
right?
You got to get it right. It's Dogecoin.
It's Dogecoin.
Yeah. You can't disrespect the Doge like that.
Well, ChabDog likes Dogecoin. Maybe we should have our own coin, the ChabDog coin.
Maybe we should have a break.
All right, we're going to go to a break, and then we'll be right back as we're getting closer to game time.
Yeah, only a few hours away.
6.5 hours away.
All right, so stick around for the second half of the ChabDog Sports Talk Show. Coming right up.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like ChabDog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
National anthem, Neil O'Donnell poised for his first Super Bowl start. Troy Aikman's been an MVP once before in the Super Bowl. Could he add another ring to the Dallas legacy? Pittsburgh looking to get their one for the thumb for the first one since the 70s. Emmitt Smith, shades of his first carry of the regular season. This time Emmitt runs 23 yards on the opening drive of the game. Then Aikman, here's the hole, Tom. Look at it.
Yeah, Greg Lloyd early on in this game, handled by Larry Allen, just couldn't get his body up under him. Good position, but he didn't finish it off defensively.
Well, Lloyd upset us. It's a 3-0 lead on a Boniel field goal. Then next series, Aikman to Deion Sanders. Little underthrown coverage, pretty good by Willie Williams, but Deion makes the catch. Then on 3rd and 9, Jay Novacek immense in the first quarter and a half and 5 catches. Here's one inside the 5. He just kept keeping drives alive for the first down. Next play, Aikman. He's wide open as Novacek. Touchdown, 10-0 Dallas, Joe.
Well, watch this. See, picks are legal in Dallas, but nowhere else. Kendall Watkins, the tight end, one of the tight ends coming from the left, knocks off Jerry Oslowski, and Novacek's wide open. I guess it's legal there, Boom.
Well, whatever it is, Bill Cowher knows his defense has been handled 2 straight drives. It's 10-0. 3rd and 8 for the Steelers. O'Donnell to Andre Hastings. He battled all day. And as a number 88 wearing his Steeler uniform should in a Super Bowl. But then, next play, Dermontti Dawson snaps it over O'Donnell's head. And it's a huge 2nd and 22 situation. Helps stall a drive. And 10-0 Dallas. Aikman to Michael Irvin. Beats Cardinal Lake for the score. But don't ring up 17-0 offensive interference on Irvin. And the call was close, actually. It wasn't that definitive. He looked worse in plays against the Packers. But the Steelers get new life because Emmitt tried to move on past Levon Kirkland, comes up short. They get a field goal instead of a touchdown. It's 13-0. Then Pittsburgh moving O'Donnell to Ernie Mills. And Joe, look at the catch.
Unbelievable. Watch him go up and extend himself all day long. He knows Scott Case is coming, still makes the play.
Ron Earhart looking to take advantage. 17 seconds to go. And for the 7th straight game, the Steelers have scored inside the last 30 seconds at the end of the half. Yancey, Dick Penn in front of Dion, and it's 13-7, Tom.
Yeah, and Deion Sanders actually with pretty good position there. He planted himself inside, just couldn't get to the ball, and actually pushed Big Ben to the football.
Dallas had the better of the play in the first half, but Pittsburgh within 6, 13-7. Then Neil O'Donnell in the third quarter, picked up by Larry Brown. He could go all the way deep into territory, inside the 20, picks up a couple extra yards. Joe, what happened on the play?
What happens is you'll see both receivers run to the inside like they should on their blitz breakoff, but Neil O'Donnell just lets this one get high and wide, and of course we know Larry Brown goes the other way.
And Neil knows he made a mistake, and Dallas goes for the jugular. Aikman buying some time. Newton way out to give a good block outside the pocket. Down to the 2 to Irvin. It's a first down. Emmett, watch the first surge, the second, well, you can't see it from her. The third surge was actually stopped already, but it looked like that second surge. He got right to the goal line. Touchdown. It's 20-7. How about them Cowboys? Then, still up 20-7. Rod Woodson back in action. Looking to play Michael Irvin. Hey, what a comeback. A miraculously medical comeback for Irvin, for Woodson, as he makes the play on Irvin. But it's 20-7. Pittsburgh down 13's got to make something happen. He didn't play the first 2 series. Pegram went nowhere, but Bam Morris had played a big role for Pittsburgh. Look at him. Bam, bam, up to the midfield stripe. A 12-yard run sets up a Norm Johnson 46-yard field goal to make it 20-10. Then watch Norm, the veteran, on the onside kick. Dallas forgets to cover it. Dion Figures not only covers it, but advances it 10 yards. Par. Here come the Steelers. The old special team play worked, Tom.
Yeah, the receiving team has to stay in place until the ball is actually kicked. You have to see it kick. The Dallas Cowboys didn't. Deion Figures recovers.
It was a great play by Johnson. It was like a soccer pass. Big block by John L. Williams on a touchdown. Bam Morris scores it 20-17. And look at it again, Tommy. Here's the block by John L. on Godfrey Miles.
Yeah, John L. outside, pins Miles to the inside, makes it an easy trot to the end zone for Bam Morris.
So Troy Aikman says, wait a minute here. I haven't even been on the field, and I've seen this team score 10 points. Under 5 minutes to play, they'll flush out of the pocket. Andre Hastings, he can't hold on despite the fact he caught 10 on the day. Then O'Donnell to the right. Is it the man again? Larry Brown had the big pick against Brett Favre 2 weeks ago. Had 2 big ones. Only John L. prevents a touchdown, but it's inside the 10. And after mistakes like that, you're not going to prevent touchdowns when you're that deep. And so Larry Brown with a third and a fourth quarter pick, and then Emmitt Smith with the burst off right tackle for the 27-17 Dallas lead at eventual final. Troy Aikman 10-1 now as a starter in the postseason. For Emmitt Smith, certainly not a great day. 18 carries for 49 yards, but 2 touchdowns and another ring. Kevin Green, they let their hair down to the Steelers. Much of the better of the play in the second half. But if you talk about someone that's come back from personal adversity to have 3
comes on
of the
after
biggest
the
interceptions in the championship game in the Super Bowl you would want, it's Larry Brown. He's the MVP. Dallas has won Super Bowls with 3 different coaches. They now have 5 Super Bowl rings. The Cowboys beat the Steelers 27-17. Did I say 5 Super Bowl rings? There's only 1 player in over 1,600 that has played in all the Super Bowls that has 5 rings. That's Charles Haley. He's with our Leslie Visser.
Wow. Charles Haley.
Haley, yeah. That was his last Super Bowl ring, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. And now we have a guy that has 6 and could get 7.
Or a guy that has 1 and could get 2.
Yeah. No, seriously, that would be... Not only would it be he would have 7, but he would have one in each of 3 decades, which no player, I don't think, has ever done that.
And did I hear that?
Oh, right. That's decades, yeah. I didn't think about that one. First one that would have a win in both conferences as well.
Yeah.
I found out.
Yeah, because we know Peyton Manning did it. Did anybody else do it?
Same conference, though.
Same conference, 2
He's
different
in the
teams.
NFC now, yeah. He'd be the first guy AFC and an NFC.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear that
The only one other guy actually went to 2 Super Bowls, quarterback with 2 different teams from the different conferences.
Oh,
You know who that was?
Wait, and did he win or lose? He
lost.
That was Craig Morton. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Craig Morton.
He lost both.
Yeah.
He took, well, he didn't take him, but he took over for Staubach, I think, 72.
Yeah.
Super Bowl he played, and he took Denver in 77.
Yeah, he was the guy he was Denver's quarterback that whole year, I think.
He was the quarterback the whole year that year.
Yeah, that's the one I was familiar
That
with.
was, wait. So Denver lost. That's right.
Yeah, that's the one Denver lost back in 77.
Wait,
their first Super Bowl.
Who did they get beat by?
I think it was
Dallas.
Yeah, it was Dallas. It was Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I almost thought
and he lost
the Orange
as
Crush
Dallas
won
quarterback to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
I think you knew that answer. You just wanted to hear it again.
Me or Brian? I think I wanted to hear it again. Yeah, but I almost forgot that the '78 Super Bowl went to the Cowboys because all I can remember from that year was the Orange Crush defense of the Denver Broncos. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Orange Crush.
Lyle Alzado.
Who was that Larry Brown they were talking about? They said Larry Brown won the game there for Dallas.
That was 95.
Yeah. Chris Berman was just saying. And
he was the Dallas guy, DB that had those 2 interceptions that killed the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I think one was a pick six, or maybe I think one was a pick six. It was very helpless watching that.
Mm-hmm. Larry Brown's crank.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys going to? You guess we're not allowed to have Super Bowl parties. Is that right?
You're not allowed to have TVs on either.
Not in California.
No.
I was going to say, what kind of Super Bowl party are you going to today? But then I might get people in trouble. I can't do that.
I think it's a $1,000 fine plus a week in jail out here in Cali.
They even said they're not even allowed to put TVs out. What I heard.
Yeah, they can't have them on. Now in Orange County, we're allowing the TVs on. They're saying "fuck you," so it's like they're on. It's you can have 25% indoor capacity and outdoor capacity, and TVs are on. So go to the Art House here on Newport Boulevard. It'll be open.
Mm-hmm.
But in LA, no TVs, no parties, no fun. Barbara Ferrer, Dr. Ferrer.
Sad.
Getting her way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would
have
had a
birthday. The birthday today. It's a guy named Matthew Stafford.
Oh yeah, he's the quarterback of the Los Angeles Rams. How
soon to be quarterback of the Rams. I was looking at his profile. He's got every single possible passing record that the Detroit Lions there possibly is. I mean, every single one.
Except for championship
wins. Taking it to a Super Bowl.
He beat Eric Hipple.
Actually, when Larry Brown was there, I was out of the workout club, finishing my workout, just got out of the shower, tying up my shoes.
We already heard
and
I know.
Guy comes up to the locker next to me, opens up the door, foot away from my face, drops his towel. I look over, there's a crank right in my face. Larry Brown.
I still get a kick out of that, sorry.
We're kind of infatuated with that name on this show.
Larry Brown.
There are a lot of Larry Browns. That's all I can say. There's more than you think in professional sports.
A lot of Larrys.
There's also a John Holmes and there's a Larry Holmes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of which, so there was a filing made with the FBI, for the people involved in the Capitol riot.
Right.
And so the guy who was wearing the horns. So there's the guy next to the guy who was wearing the horns, and a proper formal criminal complaint was filed this week, and they showed the picture of them standing there in the Capitol Rotunda, and they have the arrow pointing to the guy. And then you look in the background to see the pictures, And, there's like pictures hanging there of august, senators and congressmen and stuff of years past. And there's one picture of, instead of the guy who was there, was Clay or Ford or somebody. It's that meme picture of that really big guy sitting on a bed with like his like massive dong hanging out. You know that one?
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
So that's the picture in there, and it's in the formal federal complaint filed. Identified, got photoshopped in there. They left it. And the guy's like, you look around and you see two other pictures there of these old white guys. There's this picture, this massive guy on his bed.
That'll be the picture. That'll probably be the picture in the history books they use.
Yeah, it'd be fitting.
That's why you can't take these people serious.
So speaking of the emperor has no clothes, I sent you a picture the other day, ChabDog. Do you remember that?
The caption for that photo would be erection at the insurrection.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. Erection.
It was an insurrection, apparently.
It was an insurrection of the erection.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I sent you a picture the other day.
Oh yeah, the thing about China, yeah.
Well, but the World Health Organization. I was just wondering. We don't hear much about what's going on over there these days. I was wondering, with all the deaths and suffering and spread around the United States and other countries, I wonder where China's at these days. So I Google it, and it takes me to the most accurate and top score there in Google. It took me to the World Health Organization's page, and it says here that they have 101,000 confirmed cases and 4,828 deaths. And I just sit and shake my head and say, hold on a second. This isn't like yesterday, no. This isn't like for the month of the day, no. This is from the outbreak till today.
Maybe they count deaths differently than we count them here.
Well, there's 1.4 billion people living there. So let me put this to Trey and to Frank here, who are great statistical people, and you see how COVID's ripped through our population, and maybe there's been some over-reporting, but even if you take that into account, would it be possible in a population of 1.4 billion for them to only have fewer than 5,000 deaths?
That was for a whole month?
Of course.
No, that's for the beginning. That's from then to now.
I hate talking about this
great
pandemic thing. It just...
Well, it's just the numbers side. Let's just talk about the stats here. I mean, I see that statistic it's possible, but it's highly unlikely that could be true.
Haven't they said the same thing about the presidential election? I mean, statistics can lie.
That was more likely.
I don't know. Statistics are whoever. It's based on whoever's reporting them, and
there you go.
I'm not going to lose
China. Especially these days, it's based on just opinions and made up stats, and especially when it comes to stuff like this and this whole pandemic thing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I guess every other disease just took a break, huh? Just cancer, just stopped.
Uh-huh.
All those flu just went away for now. Just COVID just took over everything, and all the other diseases on vacation.
Yeah.
Kind of weird to me.
Yeah, depression went down.
I did hear nobody's dying of the flu anymore.
Nobody even has the flu anymore.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
don't understand that, but that's what we're being told.
Anyway, I only bring that up because it's the stat. It's just that this is, this is what's being put out as being true and accurate. It's on the page. Is nowhere on there does it say we think this information is suspect or this is kind of funny or anything. It's just like boom, here it is. Like it's accurate and perfect and fine and that's that. And that's just you go across the internet. It's just
I
it's
think
fine.
the fact checkers need to check the fact checkers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or just we just need to admit that China's not, okay, so it's like, okay, whatever. So, but just say, like, we can't be giving them a free pass. It's like by putting it up there and making it authentic like that is saying that these are real numbers and that we should believe this, and it's not. But we shouldn't. I mean, this is not
But
true.
now we're supposed to believe the World Health Organization. now because we have a new president who believes in them. Right?
Yeah, and they're still continuing to lie or put up China or China's. I'm sorry,
it just makes sense to me. I'm becoming very cynical, but I just don't.
I am too.
I don't see a lot of pushback on any of this stuff from the mainstream media. It's like you're supposed to conform to this view, or you're a heretic, and you all sorts of bad things happen to you. So, how can you fight that?
Well, we just I mean, China is a mortal threat to this country's existence. We have to. We just have to by bringing it up and just by just reminding people that hey, these people.
I think there's just
we're saying we're buying into their lie, and we shouldn't be buying into their lie. Man, I remember when we were kids growing up and the Soviet Union was around, and their human rights abuses. Man, we're letting China get away with way more human rights abuses than we ever let the Soviet Union get away with. And the Soviet Union, we wouldn't convert their currency. We wouldn't do trade with them. We said, look, we're not doing anything with you people until you clean up your government and your human rights abuses. And then the Soviet Union fell, and they did. But for China, no. We're like, okay, you guys you can abuse a million Uyghur people. You can abuse all the people you want and get away with it. It's
a tough thing for me to consider that, well, yeah, China, threat, perception, they actually, well, I don't know how they personally might feel in their government, but they stand to benefit far more on a global standard being trade buddies of ours. Our economies working with each other seems to be more advantageous than them just coming over and taking over. That's my opinion there.
Oh, absolutely. And my beef ain't with the Chinese people. They're A-okay. My beef's with the Chinese Communist Party and that system there, and with our own politicians for just giving the Chinese government a pass. And when it comes to, these human rights abuses and the lies they tell.
Yeah, you saw what happened with the NBA last year.
Yeah. Like we're self-censoring. Years ago, we made this movie was made called 7 Years in Tibet with what's the guy from Pretty Woman, sweetheart? Yeah, Richard Gere, and that was just the truth about what China was doing up messing around in Tibet and kicking out the Dalai Lama and all that kind of stuff. And that's a movie that Hollywood they turned their back on it and they wouldn't make anything like that today because they don't want to offend the Chinese Communist Party. The NBA doesn't want to offend the Chinese Communist Party. Oh, heaven forbid. They should say anything about Hong Kong.
There's a lot of money to be made in China.
Yeah, but that's where the lines are being drawn, where the money is made, and we're forgetting about the monsters that these deals are being made with. They're being made with a CCP who, willingly commits genocide.
Yeah.
Among other things.
Yeah, for right now, the most influential, U.S. foreign policy is now controlled by the new president, and who has a different attitude about China. And
I haven't seen anything different yet.
That's what you're going to see.
You think it's going to be different? You think he's going to be
a different foreign policy?
Yeah, like vis-a-vis China.
Different from Trump.
Well, vis-a-vis China, though, there's bipartisan support that we should be putting our foot down on those, keeping them under control.
But there isn't. I haven't seen it. I don't know. From the Democrat side?
Oh, yeah, Democrats too.
I don't hear.
They're not about opening.
I don't hear a lot of pushback against anything in particular. But
yeah, I heard anyone say drop the tariffs or change course.
I just kind of assume that they're going to want to change the policy that we have, the trade policy with them, and the whole tone, it seems to be different in terms of not being as combative.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I guess we'll see.
Mm-hmm. We shall see.
And we got really far off of the beaten path, didn't we?
That's the joke.
Wow. So all I know is we were talking about prop bets, and Trey was talking about them. Did we really?
No, we haven't gotten through prop bets yet.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about the prop bets.
Well, I see one of the props. I like this prop. One of the first scores of the game to be a field goal, and they got Chiefs at plus. Oh, they got Chiefs and Buccaneers at plus 375. I think that's a good one to play. As the first score to play being the field goal.
So what does that? This is always kind of mentally challenging for me. I've got to figure out what that means in English. So can you tell me what that means?
It's plus 375, right?
So it means if you put up $100
and they kick a field goal first, you'll get 375. Well, you'll get 475.
That's a pretty good payoff.
Well, hell yeah.
I mean, because a lot of times that happens, doesn't it? A field goal with the first score when the teams aren't really warmed up that well.
But you got to pick the team too. It's not for that amount.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it's a field goal, but it's a Chiefs field goal.
That's the hard part, picking the team.
I mean, it can either be, I guess they can score by touchdown, by field goal, or by safety. And
safety.
And you got either of two teams.
Safety is crazy.
Okay, so we'll rule out the safety. We'll rule out the safety. And every 5 to 7 years, the safety comes up in a Super Bowl.
Oh, sure. We have that one in the Giants game, Bills. Remember that?
Yeah, but there can be long runs where you see nothing. So
that was the fact that there was just a safety and not a fumble and a recovery and a touchdown saved the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
You guys,
that and Scott Norwood, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Scott Norwood game. Anyway, I digress.
So like the prop bets. Okay, yeah, so 3 points, or for KC kicks the first field goal.
Yeah.
Is there a quarter limit? Could that happen in the? Yeah, it doesn't matter if it happens in the second or even the third quarter. Yeah.
Well,
Well, you never know. Could be nothing at halftime.
Don't.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. What other prop bets? Is there one which quarterback will throw for the most touchdowns?
I know that's in there. Probably Frank might know that one better than me because I'm not seeing it on my side. I have another one that I like pretty good too. Antonio Brown receptions over 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
That's looking at negative 135. So in layman's terms, put up $135, you win $100.
Yeah, because I think
4 receptions or more. I think that's possible.
Not very.
So he'll be on. Yeah, because the odds are he'll be under. He might only have a couple catches.
Oh.
How about the color of the Gatorade that's going to be thrown on the winning coach? Do we have the prop on that?
I feel I could find that one right now. Another one too. Buccaneers to score in every quarter.
Uh-huh.
The odds aren't in the favor. It's negative 220, but I think that's a pretty easy bet to me. Brady not to score in every quarter. I don't see that's not possible. So, throw $1,000 on there and win 500.
Yeah,
so
it's possible.
So the bet is that the Bucs will score in every quarter.
Yeah.
Yep. It could be a field goal. It could be a touchdown. It could be a safety.
Seems to me to be a very good bet to make.
And what's the line on that?
Negative 220.
Negative 220. I'm not sure I'd buy it at negative 220, but
sorry. Yeah. Oh. Wait, I don't even know.
That means you put up 220 to get back 100, or to get 100, to get 220 and $100.
Well, that nobody would ever do that.
Oh, lots of degenerates will do that.
Really?
Do that. Well, plus people that need to.
Why the hell would I put up 210 and possibly lose 210 on a bet like that?
Yeah. Well, because you think it's likely that the Brady will score every quarter.
I don't think that way. I don't like. I mean, I just don't like giving
tell
up.
us, how do you
I don't
think?
like giving up my money like that for, because that's just too much to throw out there. Even though you think you're definitely getting it back, but it's not that. It's not that sure.
there's no value, right?
I can't even put it into psychological terms why that's so offensive, but it just is.
It's offensive.
Because
I mean, you gotta look at it in the perspective that is in your favor that the Buccaneers will. Right, you got to remember, the bet is will the Buccaneers score in every quarter? Just score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you get about 2 to 3 possessions each quarter. So.
But
if you look at the line is high, so you think it'll be a high-scoring game. It's likely it'll happen.
Because you could see it's likely, but there's still probably a 20 to 25% chance that, in my mind, that you think it's 20. All right, maybe it's 15% chance that couldn't happen.
Okay, well, what bet would you hedge against it then? Well, what would cancel that one out, gentlemen?
So I guess I could put up $100 for that, but $210.
Or you could go to reverse. Sometimes they have that same odds that it won't be a score in every quarter. You put up $100 to win $300. Does that sound more appealing to you?
Yes, it does. It sounds much better. the part that's really bad is putting up the $210.
Yeah.
I know. It's like
your tribal affiliations
that's my
here.
Tribal affiliation coming through. I like that to be held close to the vest if at all possible.
Hi. Hello.
So I found the winning liquor thrown on winning coach in the Super Bowl. They got orange color at plus 115, red or pink at plus 300, yellow, green, or lime plus 400. I don't know why they put this on here. Clear water plus 400.
Clear is plus 4? Oh,
Clear water.
That's the man. Hammer that quick. Get some money out.
Well, wait, they're not going to throw liquor on him because he's got
not liquor, but let's be colored.
Liquid.
Liquid, of course.
Oh, I thought I heard liquor, and I'm like, doesn't his son have a problem? I think that'd probably be bad.
Somebody
bad
ready
form.
to get drunk already.
Let's douse Andy right in 10 whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay.
They couldn't get him off the field. He'd be like so involved with like get off.
You have a vivid imagination.
So the favorites are either orange or no liquid at all.
Yellow.
They're both sitting at plus 115.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they put the no liquid on there because of the whole COVID situation. So I guess they think
there's a new variable this year.
Yeah. Don't want to get them sick.
Gee, I don't know how to take that into account. Okay.
I think it's pretty good. It's probably a pretty good bet that there won't be any liquid at all.
Well, they could go to confetti, but there won't be any clear confetti. It'll be red and yellow.
What I want to know is the over-under on Andy Reid's weight. What did he weigh in at this morning?
Oh, man.
What about the over-under on how many times cheeseburger is mentioned in the broadcast?
Do you think he's coming up on 375?
No, he's going down. He's lost weight. Yeah, that was his Philadelphia playing weight.
So he might be less than 300. He looks pretty big to me.
Maybe, he's 295. Well, he's not small, but he's a lot smaller than he used to be.
He's not like tank size?
No, he's but even Tank's not tank size anymore.
Well, he's not
Frank
here
Fleming.
to tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, he was on a plane. Did you see him? He's flying around on a private
I hope that plane
Barstool's private plane.
I hope that plane has a pretty big capacity.
It was big enough. He had parachutes too.
We're talking about our former guest that used to call in all the time.
He's a big shot on Barstool now.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for the little people anymore.
Well, this weekend especially. It's not like he's doing his laundry today. He's in Detroit. He's at he's down in Greektown at the casino in Detroit. Yeah, they're doing a big show there for the Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
And they're gambling, and I think he's got a shot. He's got a shot at personally winning a pot of over $100,000 from his bets. But he's like you and I know he's like the worst person.
I mean, he's been on the worst streak in history.
Yeah, he loses everything. So
losing 70 out of 75.
He's got to fade himself. If he fades himself, he might win that money.
Wait a minute. Who is he betting on today?
Yeah, we want to know. We want to know because that can be very financially impactful.
I might have to put some money on the opposite team if he's on the same side I'm on.
Yeah, geez, you know what?
I
I'm gonna have to look this up too.
I gotta believe this is a guy that really doesn't like Tom Brady. So I think he's just going Mahomes. And
great.
Yeah.
Let's not jump to any conclusions here.
You guys got Frank the Tank on your side.
Yeah, I don't want him. I'm not claying him. Let's just see what he's done.
I see two other good props for the quarterbacks. Will Tom Brady throw a touchdown first or interception? Touchdown is negative 300. Interception is 200. Interception is plus 210.
See, they have a lot of faith in Brady. Yeah,
and then
Mahomes.
I don't think to throw a touchdown pass is negative 450. Interception is 300.
Yeah, so it's way more confidence in Mahomes, right? A little bit.
I don't know. Hopefully somebody tackles him real hard, and maybe he could start walking straight.
Who, Brady? Giselle's got his nuts. She carries them around in a bag.
No, I think he was talking about your boy.
Oh, Mahomes?
I don't know. You can explain that. I don't want to I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth.
Yeah, I was talking Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got that kind of swagger / back and forth going action, side to side action going on. It's just it's kind of like one of those signature walks that certain people have, like John Wayne walked a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Shuffle.
Groucho Marx, It's interesting because
I think he got a hip or something, knocked out of place. So, just the defensive lineman just needs to knock it right back into place, and he'll be all right.
Yeah. And we know Tom Brady has all sorts of maintenance going on to make sure he's walking right.
Yeah, it takes a lot of scoops of avocado ice cream to fix those problems.
Oh, he can have whatever ice cream he wants. So,
I know y'all mentioned Dogecoin earlier. I'm plugging everything right now.
This is cryptocurrency.
That's a good bet also to put in today. You probably want to put that in right now. There's a little birdie floating around saying that there might be a halftime commercial on this Dogecoin thing.
Dogecoin, yeah. And whenever that thing gets mentioned, the stock the coin value just continues to skyrocket. Like there was something where Elon Musk said the word Doge. He tweeted it, and it caused the price to go up, and because people thought that he was getting into it.
Oh, he is into it. He's in there.
See? Well, you're talking to somebody who knows more about it than me.
Oh, jeez.
It's actually trending number 3 on Twitter right now.
Uh-huh.
Doge.
You realize that something so volatile that simply this mere mention causes its value to change means it has a very thin float.
It's highly speculative.
It's highly speculative, and it also is indicative that it has a very thin float that can push it up for just its mere mention and people throwing a few more.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to incite bad investments. Okay, everybody has the right to peaceably go and look at the stock.
If you want to participate in a system that gives liquidity to illegal enterprises and the Chinese Communist Party, go ahead. That's these cryptocurrencies, and they're good for transfers like that. You try and move big blocks of it yourself, and you might be surprised what your settlement prices are going to be like. Because you got to match up somebody who's going to take out the paper. I mean, who wants to cash you out
I'd
and give you U.S. tender or gold or
to,
real assets?
I'd probably make a call to trade it to find out more about it.
Yeah, yeah, it's easy to buy. Just try and sell
it. This is not financial advice or anything, but I'm just saying.
There you go. There, I was waiting for you to say that. I was waiting for you to say that. If not, I was going to jump on here and say
Thank
it for
you for the
because I don't want you to
disclaimer.
get in trouble.
We do not give
Yeah,
financial
not
advice.
financial
on the
advice.
show.
I'm just here giving opinions, and you know, I'm just that's what I do for a living. So if you want to make some coin, go ahead and buy some of that cryptocurrency, even if it is easy to trade in China, as you say. But the U.S. dollar been doing that for years anyway. So
You're close. Give them to me now.
Sure.
What do you? I think it's time for a weird clip or something.
Okay.
The Uzi 9mm.
The Uzi 9mm. We got Billy Martin. We got Earl Weaver.
We already played that one.
Yeah, that's right. I already did that one. That's a pretty creepy. You want to go creepy? Let's go creepy.
Okay.
Since we were on the Lolita sweep here, this is
so
creepy.
late coming home from school yesterday afternoon?
So here's a grown man painting this little girl's toenails.
Yesterday was Thursday.
Oh, well, was I late?
Yes, you were. You finished school at 3 o'clock. You were not home until 6 o'clock.
What's that guy's name?
That's right. Michelle
That's
and
James Mason.
stayed to watch football practice.
Epstein?
In the Frigid Queen.
Ever heard of Epstein?
No.
What do you mean in the
Jeffrey
Frigid Queen?
Epstein. Yeah.
I was driving around and I thought I saw you through the window.
Oh, yeah, well, we stopped there for a malt afterwards. What difference does it make?
He knows how to
You were sitting at a table with
give
two
her the
boys.
paint the toenails, doesn't he?
I know.
Yeah, well, Roy and Rex just happened to sit down with
I
us.
think he was good.
Roy and Rex.
The co-captains of the football
No,
team.
she's British.
I thought we understood no dates.
What do you mean, no dates? They just sat down at our table.
I don't want you around them. They're nasty-minded boys.
Oh, you're a fine one to talk about someone else's mind.
Don't avoid the issue. I told you, no dates.
It wasn't a date.
It was a date.
It wasn't a date.
It was a date, Lolita.
It was not a date.
It was a date.
It wasn't a date.
Well, whatever it was that you had yesterday afternoon, I don't want you to have it again. And while we're on the subject, how did you come to be so late on Saturday afternoon?
Saturday, I went to my piano lesson.
Your piano lesson? I thought that was on Wednesday.
No, it was changed to Saturday, remember? Between 2 and 4, Miss Starch, piano. Well, ask Michelle. She was with me.
Ask Michelle. That's what you always say to me. Well, now, for a change, I'm going to ask you something about Michelle.
You can't have her. She belongs to a Marine.
I will ignore that idiotic joke. Why does she give me these searching looks whenever she comes to the house?
How should I know?
Have you told her anything about us?
No. Have you?
You've told her nothing.
You think I'm crazy?
You spend too much time with that girl. I don't want you to see her so often.
Oh, come on. She's the only friend I've got in this stinking world. You never let me have any fun.
No fun? You have all the fun in the world. We have fun together, don't we? Whenever you want something, I buy it for you automatically. I take you to concerts, to museums, to movies. I do all the housework. Who does the tidying up? I do. Who does the cooking? I do. You and I, we have lots of fun.
Sounds pretty gay.
Don't we, Lolita?
Lolita.
Come here.
Now she's acting like a woman.
Oh, yeah, she's got that look.
Mm-hmm.
Did one of y'all bring up Le'Veon Bell earlier?
No, we haven't yet.
No, that's the other one that we don't know if he's playing or not.
Well, he's listed, but who knows?
Why?
Okay.
Was he? So he was hurt?
No, he's not hurt. It's Hilaire, Clyde Edwards-Hilaire, who's far more important. And he's listed to play too, but he's been, that was a pretty serious injury. He's
And they
definitely not
got
100%.
him. They got Bell.
Bell's active.
And don't they have somebody else?
Yeah, they have Darrell Williams, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy's not bad either. So
Yeah.
they got
the running game covered.
They got the running game.
Yeah, and plus
So
Hilaire. But he had 2 weeks to get healthier, so I'm pretty sure he'll see more of the field. Probably be a split, 50-50 between him and Williams.
Yeah, I just want to see what happens with. Look, the last time they played, Tyreek Hill had a huge first quarter. I think. I mean, some ungodly number of yards and
over 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah. I
how
don't
they
think we'll
gonna-
ever see that again.
They got to figure out what the
Well,
hell
we
they did
might
wrong.
see it in a few hours. I mean, you imagine he shreds them again in the first half.
You would think that they would make some adjustments to prevent it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've seen stranger things in Super Bowls. Remember the time the Redskins played, when they played Denver, and they kept running counter tray left, and Denver just kept letting them scorch them for, 10 yards every play.
Way back with Doug Williams.
89, yeah, the Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And out of every player listed playing today, Tyreek Hill is actually the favorite, along with Travis Kelce, to score the first touchdown of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Both guys.
Yeah. Yeah, Travis Kelce caught 105 catches for 1,416 yards. Tyreek Hill caught 135 for 1,276. So there's massive production out of those two.
Yeah, Travis Kelce is he can grab anything, man. He's just got those hands.
Yeah.
It's like Flounder in the supermarket when they were throwing him produce. He just kept grabbing things
until he couldn't.
I mean, there's
by comparison,
very mechanical.
Gronk had 45 catches for 623 yards. Good performance.
Mm-hmm.
But
and he's still healthy.
Yeah, but not Travis.
But they got
Kelce
another.
style.
But Tampa Bay has another tight end that's very good. That other guy. What's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cameron Brate.
Brate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They go to him more, I think.
Well, they go to Mike Evans, wide receiver. He got 70 catches for over 1,000 yards.
He's their possession receiver.
Yeah, and don't overlook Chris Goodwin.
Godwin, yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
Godwin.
That's what I was going to
Chris
say.
Godwin, 665 for 840. And there's a guy who got better. Yeah, early in the season, I saw him drop a lot of stuff. He still occasionally does.
Yeah.
But he got much more clutch in the last 6 games of the season.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's got to have a good game for them to even have a chance.
Do they have somebody else? I feel like we're forgetting somebody.
Scotty Miller.
Yeah. And then they have
Scotty Miller is underrated in offense.
He's what?
He's underrated in that offense.
Oh yeah, he's still.
Because he is.
Yeah, he's the guy that
he is
caught that long bomb at the end of the last game, the first half, I think, when they
before half. Exactly. Yeah.
They fooled the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the running game is pretty. They got Fournette. They got that other guy, Robbins. I forgot his name. Reynolds.
Ronald Jones.
What's his name?
Ronald Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jones.
Ronald Jones. Sorry, thanks.
That was a little bit. Sorry. I was a little bit surprised when I saw some of the statistics posted. I didn't realize how well Tom actually ended up overall. Yards, touchdowns, all that good stuff.
He's very close to Mahomes' numbers, actually, in performance. Yeah, Brady had 65.7% completions. Mahomes had 66.3%. So they're basically the same.
The yardage was only about 200 yards difference, maybe.
Not even that. It was 47-40 to 46-33.
Yeah, close, yeah.
Very close.
Brady had more touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brady had more open face kisses, open mouth kisses with his son too.
God, between that and the movie clips, we just can't get away from this.
You can feel the Brady love in here.
Oh, how about a shout out to Alex Smith, the comeback player of the year?
Oh yeah, what a great story, man. I'm happy for him.
Yep.
Yep.
He came back, but is he really back?
Well, he got to play. He got to
Yeah.
play. I mean, geez, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I don't think he's the quarterback of the future, obviously.
No.
Yeah, that's more white supremacy. I mean, Colin Kaepernick is still not playing, and they're putting Alex Smith back out there. Talk about privilege.
And then the Redskins shipped off their quarterback of the future to the Steelers.
The who?
That was really charitable of them.
I mean, the Washington football team.
Yeah.
God, do I feel good about next year?
Yeah.
We're holding out for Deshaun.
Oh man, that would be great. Do you think they're bringing back a Big Ben?
Bring back who?
Big Ben?
Well, Big Ben, is he coming back, ChabDog?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Will they let him?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the question.
But they need a running game. My answer to a lot of their problems is to have a running back that can get.
Get this. They're going to trade him to Indianapolis. You just feel that? Yeah, you should have seen the look on Brandon's face when I said that.
Who? Trade Ben?
The look of fear. Yeah, Ben's being traded to Indy for some draft picks and a bag of doorknobs.
I heard
pillowcase full of doorknobs.
About Indy is that Andrew Luck is coming back.
No, that's bullshit. He's not coming back.
That's just a rumor.
It's just a rumor?
Yeah.
It'd be perfect, though.
Baseless rumor.
They shut that down quick. They messed up. They messed up with Andrew Luck, man. They had all those years to get it right, to get him a better offensive line, and they never did that. Cost them.
Yeah.
Hang on. GM owns that.
It's short-sighted. Because he was a good quarterback.
He was fantastic.
He was a good quarterback. Super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just he couldn't take the punishment. Eventually, it just not that anybody should be able to take that kind of punishment.
It was like RG3. They asked him to do a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Well, except with RG3, at least Andrew Luck knew how to slide. What if RG3's learned it now? The slide.
So he won't be in the Hall of Fame then? His career was too short?
RG3?
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I don't think.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Neither
Luck's probably just cut too short. Yeah.
It's okay. You can sit and
I
talk.
think he's the only quarterback where I think I've seen plays also behind the scenes, and they do the mic up with the quarterback. So where every time he'll get sacked, like he'll give the opponent a compliment, like, "Oh yeah, good, that was a good sack."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's class act.
Yeah, super classy.
Let's see. You guys saw Leon Spinks passed away there.
Oh. I did not know that.
That brought a lot of memories.
Yeah.
I remember watching that Ali fight.
Yeah, so do I. 1978, right at the end.
The one where he knocked Ali out?
Spinks?
Spinks beat
well,
Ali?
he beat him on a
just beat him.
decision, but
okay.
Took it to him.
Yeah. And then wasn't there a rematch?
Both of them looked old and slow.
Was there a rematch?
No, it was the rematch, wasn't it?
I thought that Ali beat him later or something. It wasn't just that he lost. But maybe there was no rematch.
No, they went
I think the rematch was unauthorized, and that's how they stripped Leon of the title. Let's see.
Oh wow! I think that was the first biggest upset wager ever made in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a documentary about that, and they said that was one of the first biggest upset wagers ever.
But the biggest was Buster Douglas, right?
Yeah, let me see what I got here.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember Buster Douglas. Yeah,
Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas.
Yeah, Mike Tyson didn't get a
That
chance.
was crazy.
If he only had bitten his ear off.
Yeah, that was a crazy one too. Yeah. Yeah, Spinks was stripped of the title for facing Ali in an unapproved rematch 7 months after which he lost by unanimous decision. He lost the rematch.
Unapproved.
So it was like an unsanctioned boxing match, and they still stripped him of the title because he lost.
They stripped him because the fight wasn't all approved. At that time he was required to fight the number one contender.
There's no need.
But he passed it up for a chance to go
strip.
against Ali again.
So did Ali not become the heavyweight champion because of that?
You're right. It was no longer a championship fight.
And then he had I assume that got fixed or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe it didn't.
No, I don't believe. No, that never got officially changed. No.
Yeah, the messed up thing about boxing is that a lot of times you have like 5 or 6 different.
That's when it
titles.
started. That's the fight that got that started.
So that's the beginning.
I think one of the organizations. I think one of the organizations did recognize Ali, but 2 other ones didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I know y'all looking forward to the biggest boxing fight of the year. Mayweather versus Jake Paul.
Oh yeah, we talk about it all the time.
Jake who? So who Mayweather is.
Yeah, you can go
I
right
think
ahead.
that fight was supposed to be this month, and they postponed it for some weird reason.
Well, I know Rand Paul.
Mm.
Is it like fighting Rand Paul? Fighting the libertarian?
So we're, the idea of somebody getting stripped of a title he just lost is, it's kind of like getting impeached after you leave office, isn't it?
Okay.
Don't worry, that title will be back on the right hands pretty soon.
Well, I think that's a bet you made that, that was a particularly interesting prop bet that you made.
Sarah Connor.
I guess we'll find out more next week.
I'm a friend of Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
So we haven't really gotten to the actual predictions for today. Why don't I give that honor to Eric? You can make the first prediction, and we'll go around the horn.
Chiefs will win. Chiefs will cover. The score will go over because the Chiefs score the majority of the points.
Yeah, I think for your own well-being, you should. What's with these? I just sense that the Chiefs fans, a lot of them are very emotional about this.
Oh yeah, they're not confident.
It's bordering on irrational. I mean, when I was
That's the joke.
You gotta always go in with expecting some bad things to happen, but don't get thrown by, things change. It's wildly unpredictable.
Okay, so what's yours? Let's have yours.
I just don't think that Tom Brady is going to come out flat. I think he's going to come out sharp, and I have a feeling that the Bucs are going to be able to win this game in a close game, like 30. I just think maybe like something like 35-33. The Chiefs may have a field goal attempt at the end, and I don't have a lot of. For some reason, their kicker he's been kind of inconsistent. So it may come down to his.
Yeah, Brandon gave me 35-33 Bucs for the contest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for all that's worth.
I got to decide how to respond to this now. Oh, here's the right phrase.
Fuck you, asshole.
I've got Chiefs 31-28, which is the spread. So.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for going out on a limb there.
It's a push.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got 2-1 Chiefs. Frank, what about you?
I'm biased because I'm holding the Tampa Bay futures ticket, so I have to go with the Bucks.
Okay,
Get
that's
out.
a logical reason.
Get out.
Yeah.
You are the numbers guy.
I'll say 31-27 Bucks.
That's a good score.
That's a good score.
I mean, yeah, real solid game.
Get out.
Somebody's hearts get broken. And then the tie-breaking. So now we're 2-2. Wait, 2-2. So
2-2. So it's up to Trey here.
You can break the tie. And Mr. Washington
I learned
never
my
tells
lesson.
a lie.
I learned my lessons too many times going against Brady. So money to win it. Same score that Frank said,
Oh, you guys are picking the same score?
I gotta go with my buddy.
Man,
And Frank got a future ticket on it, so he predicted this almost a year in advance. So it's already written in
Seriously?
stone. You got it.
Frank, you mean you predicted this
matchup
in a some kind of a bet?
Not matchup, but I placed a bet. I think it was after the Bucks acquired Rob. After they acquired Gronk, that was when I had like piece of money in my account. I was like, let me just throw some money on the futures Bucks to win it all.
Oh my God! So how much will you win?
I think it pays out like almost $1,000.
Wow!
Off of $100 bet?
No, I think it was like $60. I think I threw on it.
Yeah, that's pizza money, man. Wow! So there's
so it's not bad.
there's somebody that has definitely a reason to say what he's saying. And,
the folks at my Sports Rock Facebook page have Kansas City 12 picks and Tampa Bay 6 picks.
oh, that's pretty thorough.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
When all in doubt, go against the masses, especially in Vegas.
And I can't find. I looked high and low for Frank Fleming's picks, but I think it's part of what's going on. Excuse me, at the casino today in Detroit.
He's not revealing it until the
No,
very
he's
end.
not revealing. It's kind of going to be part of because they're going to be doing playing against each other prop bets and stuff, and they're apparently challenging each other, and there can only be one winner, so people can negotiate along the way to give up their share to somebody else, and so there's going to be some hijinks going on here too. Apparently, I only caught wind of this yesterday.
A good prop bet would be what's the attendance going to be at the game today. And
yeah, over under.
I'm guessing 25,000.
And you gotta take into account that too. This is like a home game for Tampa Bay, so
Yeah.
they got the advantage.
This is in Florida where they have, more liberal policies about COVID. So, all right, well, we're coming to the end of the show, unfortunately. So I want to really thank you guys for calling in. It was a wildly entertaining, fantastic Foreplay show. And we have 5 or 6 more hours of this. Until this big game starts.
Well, it's 11:03, so the pregame's on now.
Battle
kicks off 3:30? 5:30.
The battle.
No, 3:30.
The battle of 15-12. Will the Chiefs sail into Tampa Bay and burn the city down in a blaze of red?
Yeah, we never did get a chance to get our 1812 references
No.
here.
In 1812, you guys, do you remember from your history books what happened?
Nope, I thought that class.
Yeah, Bueller.
Nobody.
Anybody? 1812.
It's the War of 1812, baby. British decided to inflict some damage on our capital.
You marched down from Canada. which is that time British.
I thought it was also from the water, but
well, yeah, they sailed into Baltimore Harbor.
And they wreaked a lot of havoc.
They burned the White House.
Burned things.
They
burned the
Washington.
White House. Yeah, so
that's why I called the name White House. It was burned. It was like trash. So they just threw some whitewash on it.
All that ship get burned and trashed by the warlike chiefs.
Are you referring to the rocket's red glare?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bombs bursting in air from Francis Scott Key, who wrote that in Baltimore Harbor as the British were invading in 1812.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked, what the hell is a rampart anyway?
Isn't it
It's
like
a little walkway on top of the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
It's a walkway.
Yeah.
You know, they could have said walk the rampart, but they just say walk the plank.
Okay.
Sort of.
Bombs bursting in air gave proof to the fight that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the chiefs.
I better get home and do my marital duties and
support your
wear my Chiefs hat.
Your poor wife is freaking out sideways with anxiety.
Well,
over
look at your
game.
poor wife.
Oh yeah, she's going crazy.
She can't even listen to this.
These women born in the state of Kansas.
I got my heart broken in the Super Bowl. I mean, I've played that Larry Brown clip over and over again, and then they lost to Aaron Rodgers in 2011.
Traumatized by men dropping their towel 2 feet away from your face in locker rooms. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been traumatized for a long time.
Crank.
So you guys have a good week. Don't be traumatized. We'll get through it, whatever it is. We'll get it through it together.
Together.
Thanks, everybody.
All right,
guys.
Thanks for calling. All right,
Thank you,
finish
guys.
up with this. You want to play another song?